G'day all and welcome back to Murder Valley. Tonight I'm going to follow on from my previous video about Autoworld 4 gear and how to improve them. So I made some foam tyres, which is one of the things I want to do. I also want to run non-mag, so they look like this. Oh, look at that, the front tyres. There, the last time I pulled this apart, I tried to take the front tyres off. Now these aren't very old, but when I went to take them off, they just, there, that one hasn't gone as hard as the other one, but it's still torn when I've tried to take it off. But yeah, people ask me why I make foam tyres. There's just another reminder. Look how ugly that is now. So yeah, but anyway, so here's one I was mucking around with a few years ago, and I've taken the traction mags out. So that's the goal for this one. So yeah, so how do I make this better? I've already pointed out that it's got too much axle play for what I would like, but have a look at this top gear. Look at that. Look at how much that moves in and out of mesh. That is what we're going to fix. So, for those who haven't pulled a 4 gear apart before, they've got a screw at the back. And other than that, they're the same as X-Traction, Magna Traction, AFX, non-mag, etc, etc. Right, so that runs really smooth now. Happy days, because there's no load on it. That's a bit dirty. So, what is the problem here? The problem here is this rivet. Absolute garbage. So, very gently. There we go. So this is a diamond tip ball. That's about as gentle as you can get. It's not aggressive, because what we want to do is we want to remove the bottom of the rivet, but we don't want to take away any plastic. So there we go, that's out. So now this gear comes away, cluster gear, and it's 2 gears, right? So that drives that's basically your pinion that drives your crown underneath there, right? So what I need to do now is I need to get a washer, because I like to put a metal washer in. Now this screw that I've got here, this is a socket head. This is 1.6 millimeters, and it's 6 millimeters long. It's too long, right? It's way too long. I'll have to trim the excess off. But this hole is the perfect size hole to put this in. Yeah, it's funny because before this I could not find my 1.5 millimeter Allen key, and it's just that screws in. That's in no tension, and here's the beauty of it: you can just wind it in or out to your tension. But what I want to do, different to this, is I want to put a washer under the head of that screw, because I think metal is better. But you know what, just for the sake of this, that runs nice. What the end result you're after is you want a little bit of movement, but not too much. So I've got to put this, even though it's inconsequential to the video, I want to get this motor brush back in there. There we go. Oh, I need to cut the excess off that screw. I need to change the bit in my Dremel. Now, cutting steel with a Dremel. Yes, it'll do it. I've just got a diamond bit tool here, but the only thing I've got to watch is temperature. So I'll put my finger on the top of the screw head to feel how hot the screw's getting, and I can just feel that warming up. So I'll let it cool off, because if I get it too hot, I'm going to melt the plastic where the screw's screwed into. Just blowing on it. Just to save myself from having to cut so much of that off, I'll snap the rest and deburr it. There we go, snap the rest. Now I'll just clean it up. Oh, there we go. So will that clear? And the answer should be yes. Right. So I'll put that back together how it should be, and then all I do then is adjust that gear, adjust the screw, so then it adjusts how much tension is on that gear to make sure it runs smooth but doesn't move too much. This is probably enough. And already that runs so much better. No, it's just too tight. But as you'll see, that gear no longer moves. Even if I load that up, it moves a little bit, but nothing like what it did before. And that's just because that rivet that was in place just didn't have enough bite into the bottom of the top plate. So that's tip number 2. So foam tyres in the first video, screw in this one, and this is well on its way to being a much better car to drive than what it was. But yeah, those magnets have got to go, hey. You know what, I'm just going to do it now. Just pop something down through the top and just pop them out. Actually, hang on. Before I do that, just for the viewers at home, let's see how much difference this makes. Alright, so I've got 2 different ways of measuring here. Number 1, we'll take the blade pickup shoe out, and I've got the magnet scales here. So this measures how much magnet traction that it pulls standard. So I've got that lined up with roughly about the front. So that says, it's going to change, but while it was flat, it's 11.4 grams. Now, just for the sake of lining things up, pop that back in here, and I've got my little force meter here. How many grams of force does it take? I should try and jack this up a little bit. Hang on. All right. Got a tube just so we can read the gauge a little bit better on the camera. How much force does it take? Apparently none, because I won't register. How much force does it take to lift it using my little gram force meter jig? This is not going to work for me, is it? That's not a very good shape for that. For the arc of the back of it's curved. Alright, so that's about... it's just over 50. It's less than 55, but it's more than 50. Right, let's pop those magnets out. So, why? Why do I pop magnets out? Why do I care? So it's so popular just to stick stronger magnets in to make cars handle better and not have to worry about anything else. Well, I like my chassis to move around on me. That's why. So we'll do this first. So what was it, 50 to 55 before? In that range. What is it now? Come on. Hardly even registers at all, which is why the foam tyres are more important. But now let's pop that little screw out. This is turned off on me. Happy days. Come on. Right. So now line that front guide pin hole up. Now, that says 9.1 while it's flat. Interesting that it changes while I... But yeah, 9.1. So it hasn't dropped the level of magnet all of that much, but it will make a difference. And look, if I put those magnets directly on the... That's roughly about where they'd line up, yeah? Yeah, it's roughly about where they'd line up. So that's... Magnets make a difference. Now these magnets are suspended above this, right? So they're suspended above, they don't touch. But that said 46 grams. So how low you get your magnets definitely determines how much magnet traction you have. So by adding magnets in like this on the bottom, yeah, it's going to make your chassis handle better. But define better. It's going to make the traction of the chassis to the track stronger. But is that what you want? Is just making all your magnets stronger? Is that the end result? I've got no problems with the upgraded magnet cars, and they've got upgraded motors and stuff in them. But just with a standard motor and a standard everything else, I'm not seeing personally, my viewpoint, I'm not attracted to wanting to just upgrade magnets in my cars to make the magnet stronger. I'd rather play with the car and make it better. Doing things like the screw, doing things like this would be now, I reckon, if I go through and I clean this chassis up, clean the com up and get that all nice, and then I've already got the gear mesh running better because I've done the rivet removal and replaced it with a screw. And now I have a tyre on there that doesn't just, well, those ones are hard, it doesn't just grip up, but these have more grip than these. So instead of relying on magnets to get my traction, now I'm relying on my tyres to get the traction. But because the tyres, the foam tyres, have compliance and these are hard or firmer, this acts like tyre pressure. It's like running it's still having grip but having lower tyre pressure, and instead of relying on magnets to get me around the track and keep me on, it'll rely on grip of the car. Now I can put traction compound on the track, I can do all sorts of things. I could even put weaker magnets or drill those holes up further if it's not enough magnet for me, and just raise the magnets up until I find that sweet spot where it's just enough traction, you know, just enough traction where that it drives well and moves around on me, and not just too much magnet. But yeah, so anyway, I will keep on working on this, but that is to me my type of modification, my type of upgrade, and making the chassis drive better. But just don't get me wrong, taking magnets out is not the end result. It's just about finding the right amount of magnet for each chassis, and that's where it's at. And then I adjust, because I've got variable power supplies, then I just adjust the amount of power to suit the chassis I have. I don't run everything on 1 voltage. I adjust it to suit. More is less and less is more. But like the Goldilocks and the 3 Bears, when everything's just right, that's what you want. So put some work into your chassis, fix them, make them nice. Yes, putting magnets in will make them stick onto the track better. But when the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem's a nail. You know what I mean? So this channel's about showing people the way that I do things and the way that I tune things, making cars run better, making them run as best as they can and as smooth as they can, and putting them on the track and enjoying them for what they are, rather than just sticking big magnets and everything. But there's certainly a time and a place for that. Don't get me wrong either. I'm not just bashing magnets. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe. Thank you to all my recent subscribers. My subscribe count, I think today, just before making this video, is at 160. Thank you very much. I hope you find something on the channel worth your while to watch. And yeah, if there's things here you're enjoying and liking, share it with your friends. Show it around people you know, other people in the hobby, and let's get this sort of a message out there of just other ways of doing things rather than just sticking stronger magnets in everything. Anyway, thank you.